Good afternoon, Oklahoma BPA, and thank you for listening to this video. I'm assuming that if you are here, you are interested in running for state office. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you go to bpaok.org, you will find our website. And from there, you're going to hover over that SEC tab, scroll down to Run for State Office and click on that page. And this is going to be the main spot for you for getting into this application, applying for your state office, all of that. And we're going to run through this today. Okay, so on the side of this page, you will see that we have like a welcome. We talk a little bit to your advisor. So read through all that. And then we have some important reminders. The most important reminder is that the application is due on December 1st, 2022. And I'm just going to edit this page right here because you know what? Mistakes happen. So we're going to fix this real quick. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so your application, it is due on December 1st, 2022, and the screening will be on December 15th, 2022, if you make it to that point. So the screening will be in Stillwater at ODCTE, and I will let you know a week after that December 1st deadline if you are eligible to attend that screening. So look for an email from me, and we will go from there. Okay, so let's dive right in. First, we're going to look at the important and mandatory dates for this next term. Okay, so you'll see the most important dates, the December 1st deadline, the screening on December 15th, and then your campaign election period, which is March 6th through 8th, 2023. So we have some tips here, definitely proof your work and things like that. This is a big process. One of the most important documents that you're going to find, though, is this page 3 of this document, and it is the important dates and mandatory dates for the 2023-2024 state officer term. So these dates are the dates that you're committing to as a state officer. I know that life comes up and we try to work with some of those situations, but right now in this moment, it is important that you look at these dates and do your best to commit to them. If there are several that you just can't make work, then maybe this year is not your year to run as a state officer. Maybe there are things we can work around, but definitely we need you to be committing to these dates. There are a few exceptions and we'll go over that. So the first one that I want to point out is Career Tech University, which is May 31st through June 2nd. This is one where I don't have a lot of ways to change the date and things like that. It is the annual training that we do with all of the 7 CTSO state teams here in Oklahoma, and failure to attend CTU in its entirety will actually result in automatic removal from office. So it is very important that you look at that date, that set of dates, and make sure that you can be there. The other exceptions are the BPA National Leadership Conference and Dodgers Day. So with NLC, we do not pay for state officers to attend NLC. Therefore, we do not require it. And the other one is Dodgers Day. So while we would love for our whole team to be at Dodgers Day, it is not mandatory. Okay, so let's go through these. So we have December 15th, which is our state officer candidate screening here at ODCTE in Stillwater. The next day is the next date on the list is for our middle level candidates, which is our mid-level competition day, also held in Stillwater. So we do not need all of the candidates to attend this day, just our middle level candidates, and that's actually where they'll campaign. We have our March 6th through 8th State Leadership Conference. So you'll be campaigning there and things like that. That'll be held in Tulsa. We have our BMIT Day at the Capitol held on April 4th. So we want to make sure that is on your list of days to attend. And then this year we'll be hosting our state officer orientation and training March 23rd through the 24th in Stillwater. So that is important. It'll be the first time that your team gets to get together and train and just learn those professional skills and things like that, like public speaking, elevator speeches. We'll plan for the year, things like that. Okay, then we have our National Leadership Conference. Again, that is optional for state officers. This year we're in Anaheim from April 26th through the 20th. And then you're going to see that Career Tech University, and that's May 31st through June 2nd. And because this is such an important event, I do want to give you a little bit of a time frame here. So on May 31st, you'll show up about 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. In Holbert, and then you will get to leave June 2nd around 1 p.m. So you stay the night there. It is a true kind of camp situation, and we are at a lodge, and it's a lot of fun. Fantastic networking and leadership training and things like that. So that is very important that you attend that. If you do get elected to the team, you'll get more information from me. Okay, and then you're going to see our first monthly meeting on July 28th. Any of those monthly meetings that you see are going to be held in Stillwater at the Oklahoma Department of Career Tech, and those are typically held from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. There are a few exceptions, but for the most part, we try to host those 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Okay, so moving on, you'll see OK Summit, which is an annual training event for all of our career tech teachers. We do require all of our officers to be available on August 2nd to assist with that conference. You'll get information about the first day, which is August 1st, and you are an option to help on that one. It's not required for you, but you'll have the option to do that, and we'll talk more about that if you do get elected. Okay, moving on to September 13th, we have our BPA and DECA Dodgers Day. Again, that is optional, but we would love for you to be there. And then we start getting ready for FLC. So we have an FLC planning meeting, again, about that 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. time frame. And then October 15th and 16th, you'll see we have Fall Leadership Conference. You might be wondering why there's 2 days listed on this, and that is because state officers come in 1 day early to help with setup and things like that. Okay, so we have our monthly meetings. You'll see that we have CTSO Day at the Capitol. This is not for all of our CTSO chapters. This is just for all of our state officers. So again, all 7 CTSO teams will be there for that and things like that. I don't have an exact date, but it's usually the last week of February. And this one will be February 2024, that last week there in Oklahoma City. Okay, moving on. We have our state leadership conference. Again, you're going to see that extra day attached so that the state officers can come in and set up and things like that. That's going to be March 3rd through 6th, 2024. And then the National Leadership Conference for anyone elected to this next term will be April 25th through the 29th in Chicago. Again, that is optional. So definitely an important list of dates to look at. Please make sure that you can attend these dates. It is what you're committing to. So make sure that that is on your radar. Okay, moving on. We're gonna run through our state officer application here. Okay, so you've probably heard rumors about how long this application is. It is 26 pages of a lot of information, all important, a lot of forms to sign and things like that. So please make sure that you're diligently going through those. Okay, so again, we have our notes and things like that. You're going to find your handbook, your forms, your application, and things like that in here. Applications are due on December 1st. Okay, so this checklist, and while no bonus points are given out or anything like that, I do love it when your forms are uploaded in this checklist order. It does make things a little more simple for our office. So if that's possible, great. If not, we make it work either way. But we do love it when the forms are uploaded and scanned in this order. So this is going to show you exactly what you need to turn in to me. Okay, so read through that. And you'll see that you have your first set of signatures here. Get used to that. So anything that says candidate signature, that's you as the potential candidate, and your local advisor will start signing as well. Okay, so this kind of goes through what the purpose of a state officer is, definitions of what the different roles, how they're elected, and things like that. The duties of each office. Keep in mind with BPA that you run for general office, and then you are slated into a specific office at training, with the exception of 2. Our parliamentarian will select if they are running for the parliamentarian spot, and that is appointed. And then our middle level rep is also appointed. Okay, so we got some responsibilities here. Make sure you read through all of these. This is going to be what you're committing to. And I don't want to lie to you and say that this is the easiest thing that you'll ever do. It's not. It is a lot of responsibility, a lot of commitment, but just incredibly rewarding. So while it is just a fantastic opportunity for any of our BPA leaders, just know that it is going to take some of your time, and it will need to be a priority for you. and that there are responsibilities that you're going to have to take care of. So I think it's important that everyone knows that going in. Okay, so candidate information, just some of the qualifications. You must be a current dues paying member. You must be you must be in school the year that you're serving as well. So you must be a student. That's the most important thing. It also kind of breaks down the different divisions and things like that and what you can apply for. If you have questions on that, please let me know. You'll see that we have our grade point average information here, and that's just because school has to be a priority even throughout this process. The campaign process, if you are elected and serve as a state officer, school is your main priority. And so we don't want serving as a state officer or campaigning to be a state officer to be detrimental to that. So look this over. If this isn't your year, then that's fine. Maybe next year is your year. But we definitely want this to be a tremendous opportunity for everyone, but not at the detriment to your progress at school. Okay, so this kind of goes through our application procedures, the different forms and things that you'll need to find and turn in. Everything should be on this page, though, that I've shown you on bpaok.org. Of course, if you have questions, you can always ask. Okay, so this is going to kind of go through how we'll look through your application, how you'll be notified. Again, you'll get notified 1 week after the application deadline of December 1st on if you're invited to go to screening. And that leads us into the screening process. So to pass the screening process, you have to obtain 245 points of the possible 350 points. So you'll see that this is broken down. Your application is part of that. So it's important that you do a wonderful job on your application. And things like that. So that's part of those points. You'll have a panel interview, which is also part of the points, a script reading, and a knowledge test. There is a study guide for the knowledge test under advisor quick links on our bpaok.org website that you can look at. Okay, so you can see the breakdown. It's about 70% of those points that you must achieve to move on to the campaign and election phase of the process. Okay, so the recorded video, you probably have noticed that our state officers record quite a bit of videos and get asked several questions about BPA throughout their term. So we combined something a couple of years ago to kind of get candidates ready for what they could be experiencing as state officers. So you'll get to choose from questions 1 through 8 blindly, and whichever one you choose, then you'll be answering on video and things like that and submitting and turning in. Okay, so we'll let you know after screening if you pass and get to move on to the campaign portion. It is a note, and I'll make note of it here, that middle level candidates should make plans to attend both middle level competition day in February and the grand awards ceremony. Again, you can find all of those dates on the important and mandatory dates page. Okay, so this goes through your campaign regulations. You have a maximum of $350 that you can spend. We do ask that you do not bring gum, stickers, other adhesives, food that's not commercially packaged, individually wrapped, things like that, and you can only bring bottled water. These are not only our rules, but they are the hotel's rules as well. So we want to make sure that we're abiding by that. If these items are found on your booth, we will have to remove them. And let me tell you, that's not fun for anyone involved. So just make sure you read through that so that that is followed and correct. If you have questions along the way, you can always contact me or your advisors can reach out. We can talk about your campaigns at screen if you make it to screening as well. As far as a campaign manager, I can talk about the importance of that. It is optional, but it's strongly encouraged, especially if you are a candidate who is competing at SLC. So that way, while you are competing and things like that, you have your booth covered by someone who is assisting you. And let's be honest, it's always better to do things with a strong support system. So find someone who can assist you if you would like. It is optional, but I do encourage it. Okay, campaigning. So this just kind of goes through what is allowed prior to state leadership conference and what is not. Basically, you can tell your chapter, but verbally. We don't want anything posted online or anything like that. So please just make sure that you read through that so that you don't get disqualified prior to state leadership conference. This goes through what you can do at state leadership conference. So make sure you read through that. Okay, your campaign speech, you get 2 minutes for that, no more. And you can go less if you want to, but read through this. It's very important that you don't have call outs or props or anything like that. Again, if you have questions, our office is always here to assist. Okay, so this goes through your rights, through the grievance policy and things like that if something were to happen. Our parliamentarian and middle level guidelines, make sure you read through those if you're applying for those positions. Okay, we have some post-secondary guidelines here. Again, if you have questions on the specifics, let me know. Our chapters each start out with 2 voting delegates, and then it changes from there based on their membership. So read through that. You can look at our bylaws if you are interested in going in a deep dive in that. This kind of talks about those voting delegate responsibilities, the procedure. We'll have a business session, things like that. This election sessions is your guide to information at SLC and who can attend that and what's going to happen in those events. And then we start our forms. Oh, so many forms. So you'll see that your chapter advisor is going to be signing quite a bit because, believe it or not, this is as much of a responsibility to your chapter advisor as it is to you as the candidate. So just make sure that they're on board with everything that you're doing. And when you go through this commitment form, you're going to be reading through a lot of this. This is all very, very important. So make sure you pay attention to all those details and points. Okay, so I'll touch a few points on this page. You're the applicant as the potential candidate. If you are under 18, we need to have a parent guardian sign this. You'll need your local advisor to sign. If you are at a middle school, junior high, high school, K-12 comprehensive school, you need to have your administrator sign here. If you attend a technology center, we need to have your technology center administrator sign here. If you are a secondary student at a technology school, we do need to have both signatures, one of your sending school from your high school and one of your technology center. If you are a post-secondary at a technology center, we do not need the high school sign. Okay, so we've got our grievance contact information. Make sure I have a phone number for both you and your local advisor if I need to get a hold of you at site, on site at SLC in Tulsa. Okay, so we have our reasons for removal form, which we hope to never use, but we have on file just in case. Our social media contract. So above all, it's important that we have a professional image and that our state officers are acting professionally. So please make sure that you review this information carefully. Okay, this permission to drive form is only used if you do get elected onto the team. So it just lets us know what our guidelines and rules are for transportation and things like that. Okay, and this next part is for your local advisor because like I said, this is as much of a responsibility for them as it is for you. So this is just them signing on to be your support system. We've got our grievance form here, and that is it. At this point in the process, I would ask for questions, but because we're recording this, I will go ahead and show you how you're going to submit your application. So you'll hit that submit application button. You'll see that the application period is now open. Okay, so right here, you're going to choose which office you're applying for. General office, that's going to be president, vice president, secretary, historian, chaplain, reporter, all of those different ones, or you can choose parliamentarian or our middle level representative. So make sure you choose the correct one there. Okay, then you're also going to choose which division you are currently in. Fill out all of your information. You'll see that we have the phonetic pronunciation of the candidate's name, and I've provided my name as an example. So just so that you can see how we wrote that out, I pronounced my name Paxton Caven. So you can see that I've just kind of broken it down so that someone would know how to pronounce my name. This is just so that our production company and stage managers know how to say your name, because we never want to get a student's name incorrect if we can avoid it. Okay, so make sure you fill all that information out. If you are a post-secondary student and you don't have an emergency contact or a parent, guardian, spouse that you don't want to put here, you can just put NA. Okay, just some more information, local advisor information. Okay, so then we get to the questions. Something that I will point out about this this online application portion is that it does not have a save and continue on it. So you kind of have to fill it out all in one sitting. What I recommend is pulling out a Word document and things like that, typing out your answers on the Word document. That's also going to help with spelling and things like that. So type it all out in a Word document. You can split your screen. You can have one thing on one screen and the other on another. You could even write it out. But I do recommend putting this somewhere else so that someone, your local advisor can look at it. Maybe someone close to you can look at it, things like that to proof it, make sure it's good. And then you can copy and paste it into this online system and hit submit. Okay, so the first one, you're going to provide 3 examples of leadership. And then we have your involvement in activities and things like that. Your 200-word statement will go here, and this will be posted online. Your social media questions. These are optional. You do not have to supply these, but I encourage you to do so. The more that you do, the more exposure you get on our social media and things like that, which could help with your campaign. Make sure that you limit your responses to 230 characters. That does include spaces and the ands, thes, all of that. So make sure that you're counting those characters, not words. So 230 characters for these social media questions. Okay, so we have all of those here. And then you're going to see where you can upload your files. So this is where you can upload your photo. You can upload all of those signed forms that you did. I recommend them being in the order of the checklist. All in one document would be fantastic. However, if you do need to upload them separately, that is fine and we'll make that work. But one document is always easier for our office. And those can just be in a PDF format with everything signed. Once all of that is good, you want to review your candidate checklist one more time, make sure it's all there. And then you'll just hit submit application. A thank you will pop up on this page and you've applied for state office. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. My name is Paxton Caven. We have our office phone number up here. All of your advisors have my information and email information that you guys can find me at. And I just want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this recording and getting some more information about running for state office. It is a lot of work, but it can truly be a life-changing experience. And I hope to meet you soon. Have a great day.